Someone asked Patanjali, "What is the easiest way to enlightenment?" Patanjali looked at him with a calmness that did not belong to this world. It was the calmness of someone who has seen the root of all questions dissolve into silence. The disciple's voice carried longing, restlessness, and the ancient thirst of countless births. But the question was innocent, almost childlike, the easiest way. Patanjali smiled, not out of amusement, but out of compassion for the unnecessary struggle humanity carries like a treasure. He closed his eyes for a moment, as if listening to something within, and then said, "The easiest way? See that there is no distance to travel." The man blinked. "No distance? But my mind is full of desires, fears, memories." Patanjali lifted a hand. "Those are movements on the surface. They belong to the mind, and the mind is not you. You have lived as a wave for so long that you have forgotten the ocean beneath. The wave rises and falls. The ocean remains." The disciple asked softly, "If the mind is not me, then what am I?" Patanjali answered the way Ashtavakra would answer. "You are the witness, untouched, unchanging, unborn. Your thoughts arise in you, dance for a moment, and die. You remain." The disciple struggled. "But it doesn't feel that way." Patanjali nodded. "Because you look outward. You chase shadows. You think enlightenment is something dazzling, something spectacular, something that must arrive like a thunderbolt. But truth is simple. Silence is simple. Your being is simple." He leaned forward. "To know the self, simplicity is the only requirement." The disciple insisted, "But surely I must do something." Patanjali's voice sharpened like a blade of clarity. "You have done too much. Doing is the problem. Doing strengthens the doer, and the doer is the illusion." The disciple fell silent. Patanjali continued, "When you drop effort, when you stop searching, when you no longer chase experiences, the dust on the mirror settles by itself. Then you see your own face, not a new face, not a spiritual face, but the face that has always been there." The man asked, "Is meditation not needed?" Patanjali responded, "Meditation is like washing your hands. It removes the dirt, but it does not create the hand. Meditation removes the agitation, but it does not give you awareness. It reveals that awareness was always the background. Techniques are boats, useful, but only to cross the river. Once crossed, you do not carry the boat on your head." The disciple breathed more slowly now. Something inside was loosening. Patanjali said, "The easiest way to enlightenment is to stop believing the mind." The disciple frowned. "How?" "Watch it," Patanjali said. "The watched loses power. A cloud is harmless to the sky. A thought is harmless to the witness. When you watch, you remember your nature. When you identify, you forget." He added, "Identification is bondage. Observation is freedom." The disciple whispered, "Is it really so easy?" Patanjali answered, "It is easier than breathing, because breathing needs effort, but your being, needs none." He pointed to the disciple's chest. "You exist. Even if you close your eyes, even if you stop thinking, even if the world disappears, you still know, I am." That knowing, that silent recognition, that is enlightenment. Enlightenment is not an achievement. It is the absence of the one who wants to achieve. The disciple trembled. "If I drop the seeker, what remains of me?" Patanjali smiled again. "Everything that is false will fall. Everything that is true will remain. Why be afraid?" The disciple lowered his head. Patanjali continued, now with a softness that carried the fragrance of truth. You are not quite ready to admit how simple it is. Humans are addicted to complexity because complexity keeps the ego alive. The ego thrives on effort. It thrives on long journeys, rituals, disciplines, pilgrimages, philosophies. All these satisfy the seeker. But enlightenment is the death of the seeker. He paused. So the seeker resists the simple. A deep silence spread between them. After a long while, Patanjali said, "You ask for a method. I give you a mirror. You ask for a path. I give you your own presence." He added, "Sit silently. Look within. Watch the mind without becoming it. Soon you will laugh at how close you were." The disciple felt tears. Patanjali concluded, "The easiest way to enlightenment is to not move an inch from yourself. Stay as the witness. Stay as the pure seeing. Stay as the I am before it becomes anything else." Then he closed his eyes again, disappearing into the same stillness from which his words had emerged. And for the first time in his life, the disciple tasted a moment of not searching, not striving, not becoming, just being, and he understood.